Hey guys, today I'd like to talk about a board game. Yay, board games. Um, so, if you're into board games, you've probably heard of Puerto Rico. This, luckily, is the anniversary limited edition or whatever you want to call it. Absolutely love it. I was lucky enough to happen upon this at SaltCon this past year and was able to strike up a pretty good deal for it. Anyway, this comes with two expansions, and coincidentally, Grande, however, whatever they're calling themselves, Rio Grande Games have released the two expansions that are in this box for purchase separate from the base game. So, is it worth it? Should you get it? What do I think? First of all, I love Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a great game. The game is very smooth. It's very clean. And I really like the design. I really like the action selection. One of the things that I love most about Rising Sun, which more or less stole the action selection from this, borrowed, whatever. And I really like how your choices are so, each turn you're like, should I take a coin and not make it so somebody can sell next round? Because I really need to sell, and if I make it so that they can sell, then I'm not going to have an opportunity to sell. Things like that. You've got a lot of choices in the game. So I love the base game. I do think that the base game is a little tight, and you can really get screwed out of things early in the game, making it very difficult for you to get your engine going. That being said, if you like Puerto Rico and you don't think it needs a change, definitely don't worry about getting the expansion. However, I do love both the expansions. I haven't played much with the new buildings expansion, but the nobles really change things. The nobles essentially add 20 nobles that you play with. It makes it so that when the colonists run out, you don't end the game, but you keep playing. Each noble, it acts exactly the same as a colonist, and they give one victory point at the end of the game. Plus, there are new buildings that you can use, and these buildings will benefit from either having a noble or a colonist occupying them. For example, one building allows you to buy an extra production tile, one of the corn or the indigo or whatever. So I think that's if you have a colonist occupying it. If you have a noble occupying it, then you can actually sell one of those, and it's a doubloon either way. But regardless, you can essentially start getting yourself more production tiles, or you can start selling them if you're not using them to get some extra money. So that's kind of how the nobles work. I really love how that affects the game. I would say that if you're playing with the nobles, not to ignore them. So basically, every time you are playing, every time somebody takes the mayor, you replace one of the colonists with a noble. In that way, there's always a noble able to be taken throughout the game. There are ways that you can get extra nobles through buildings and whatnot, but it's not something you should ignore. If you do completely ignore it, if there's only one person going for the nobles, they'll probably end up winning because nobles can be worth a lot of points. And there are some buildings that will really help you score those nobles, essentially make them give you an extra point. The buildings are really cool. There's a variant where you can actually draft the buildings in the beginning, not like each person gets to draft what buildings they start with, but you can draft what buildings are available in the center. So instead of playing with the new building set or the old building set, you can draft each. You just go around the table until the board is full of buildings. They have recommendations for which ones you should, like if somebody drafts this one, then you should probably use that one, etc., etc. I really like this because I think the game can get stuck, and you can be in this rut where you're doing this one thing. These specific buildings are very important. Now, I don't know the greatest strategies for Puerto Rico. I don't know how to sit down and play the game and win it every single time. I've heard that there's one strategy to go for, and that'll help you win the game every single time. I don't know what that is. But if you do, or if you think that the game is too scripted, these new buildings can really help you to change things up, make things newer. Really interesting, really like it. I highly recommend the new expansions, and I would recommend going out to get them if you love Puerto Rico. If you don't love Puerto Rico, or you have thought that it's too scripted, definitely go out and check these out, because these can maybe change your mind. Open the game up a bit, make them not so tight. Anyway, that is my 2 cents on the expansion and the game. Go and check them out. Play it before you buy it if you want, but I definitely recommend adding it to your collection, especially if you're a hardcore Puerto Rico fan. Let me know what you think about the game. If the game itself is garbage, the 2 expansions suck, or whatever the situation may be, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like if you do like this video. Give me a thumbs up. Share if you will. That would be great. Leave a comment, please. And definitely consider subscribing if you do enjoy what I do here. If you'd like to see more and you'd like to support me, please consider heading over to my Patreon, where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. It would be amazing. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.